will you be dressing up in a costume for Carnevale?
Altro che! I have fallen in love with Commedia dell'arte, so this year I will dress up as my favorite character, the big-nosed, nasty Pulcinella. He and I are so opposite, no one will ever guess it is me.
I'll stop pestering you now.
Good, good.
Hello?
Hi, Ned. Or should I say, buongiorno.
Hey, Nance. I was hoping you'd call.
Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Sort of. I mean, I'm in Bayport, staying at Frank and Joe's, just like you arranged.
You sound funny. What's wrong?
My research is going great. It's just that, well, in order to get over to the hospital library, I've been having to take the bus.
What happened to your car?
Joe happened to my car.
Oh, no. He's been tinkering with it?
If by tinkering you mean disassembling the engine and possibly the transmission and strewing the parts all over that closet in the basement he calls his workshop, yes, he's been tinkering with it.
Ned, I told you. I said whatever you do, don't let Joe do any tinkering.
I didn't know that's what you meant. He said he knew exactly how to fix that funny noise my car's been making, so I said great. I thought he knew what he was doing.
He does know what he's doing. It's just going to take him like half a century to do it. But hey, you're taking mass transit. That's good.
Yeah, I know. I'm fine. And I'm sure my car will be fine, too. So how's it going there?
Hey, before I forget, thanks again for the locket. I haven't taken it off since you put it on me there at the airport.
Good. That was kind of the idea. I just wanted you to have a little reminder of home. Well, more specifically, of me.
I don't need any reminders, Ned, but thank you. It really is beautiful. Even the guy I sat next to on the plane over here who played solitaire the whole way liked it.
It passed the semi-neurotic but otherwise thoroughly impartial geek test? Yes.
The palazzo where I'm staying, the Ca Nascosta, has some beautiful artwork in it, some of which is being restored by this guy from England, who's kind of a head case.
A head case? How so?
He's your typical temperamental artist, very sensitive. You have to be real careful what you say and do around him or he'll go off on you. And he forces everyone who talks to him to watch the slideshow on mosaic tiles that is boring beyond belief.
And your point is?
Maybe he's deliberately making people avoid him because he's doing something he doesn't want anyone to know about.
Or maybe he's just clueless. Which reminds me. Hey, Joe? Frank called while you're out in the garage. Said to remind you to pick up the basketball tickets. Oh, shoot. I almost forgot. Thanks. Sorry, Nancy. Where were we?
I'm sharing a room with a woman from Germany who's a journalist, which makes me kind of nervous.
Why does that make you nervous?
Because journalists are kind of like detectives. They're observant, they ask questions, they snoop.
And you're afraid she'll find out you're working for the GDIF.
Exactly.
Man, as long as you stay on your toes, the last thing anyone's going to think you are is an undercover cop. Trust me.
Want to know what my assignment is?
You bet.
I'm supposed to do surveillance on a guy named Antonio Fongo.
Surveillance? Wow.
The police suspect he has something to do with the thefts being attributed to the Phantom. They page me every time they see him go into his office so I can watch him through binoculars from the roof of the place where I'm staying and report in if he does anything suspicious.
So has he done anything suspicious?
If you call receiving messages carried by pigeons suspicious, then yes, he sure has.
He's using pigeons to communicate with someone in this day and age?
Well, if he is up to something and thinks the police may be tapping his phone, which they are, it actually kind of makes sense.
It just sounds so...
messy?
That's the word.
Margarita Faubourg, the woman who owns the place where I'm staying, is a little strange.
How so?
She spends most of her time on the roof, sunbathing.
Sunbathing? It's winter there, isn't it?
Exactly, although I must admit it is unseasonably warm out.
Then maybe she's not so strange.
It just bothers me that whenever I need to do surveillance on Fongo from the roof, she's up there too. While I'm watching him, she could be watching me.
Relax. I'm sure the GDIF checked her out before they okayed your staying there.
Somebody delivered a box of chocolates meant for Il Dottore to the place where I'm staying. Only there's no one there by that name. And I saw a reference to Il Dottore in the office of Antonio Fongo. That's the guy I've been spying on.
Could be a coincidence.
Or there could be a connection between Fongo and someone at the car.
Is that what the person you're reporting to said when you told him?
Not him, her. Actually, I haven't called her yet.
Sounds to me like maybe you should.
I better get to work. Tell Joe I said hi, okay?
I'll let him know you called and tell him what you've been doing. Take care.
Bye.
Nancy, you have examined the microdot the pigeon was carrying?
I sure have. The message, which was written in English, said, Il Dottore requests you to change the safe room lock combination to 43556.
Il Dottore?
Yes, which is really interesting because in his office, Fongo has a poster of Commedia dell'arte masks. He's crossed out all but 5 of the masks, and among the ones that aren't crossed out are the Brighella mask.
The mask the Phantom wears.
Right, and the mask for Il Dottore wasn't crossed out either. And it was in the middle, like it was more important than the others. And when I went back to the place where I'm staying, a box of chocolates had just been delivered for someone named Il Dottore, which means it's very possible that Il Dottore is one of the people at the Ca' Nascosta. And I saw a similar box of chocolates in Fongo's office. I think he's the one who sent them.
Perhaps Fongo and the Phantom and whoever else they are working with are going by the names of Commedia dell'arte characters. This would make it easier to secretly communicate with each other. And if that's true, perhaps those chocolates are a message of some kind. And if Il Dottore was at the center of that poster you saw, perhaps the person the message was meant for is the ringleader.
Just what I was thinking.
Here is what we will do. I will have a technician hide tracking devices in objects these people are likely to carry around with them. Then, when we know which of them is Il Dottore, we will activate the appropriate device and be able to follow him.
Awesome. Let's see. Helena's always writing, so for her I could plant a bug in her pen maybe. And Margarita is always sunning herself, so you could hide a bug for her in a sunglasses case. But for Colin? For Colin, you could bug a mosaic tile. You know, a tessera?
He's likely to carry a mosaic tile on his person?
If it's from me, he will. Long story.
This is good information, Nancy. I will have our technician prepare the 2 bugged objects and the device which she will hide in the pen, then leave them for you in the Banca dell'Oro ATM. You should give them to each person as soon as you get them.
Will do. Keep your fingers crossed.
My fingers are always crossed.